When we prepare for mediation, the most important thing is to know what the assets and the liabilities are. If you go into the mediation without knowing that, then you're really in the dark. There's no way to negotiate on what you're going to get and what you're willing to give unless you know what the assets and liabilities are. For instance, if you have a home, but you don't know if there's any equity in it, or if you have retirement accounts, but you don't know how much you had before the marriage and you don't know how much was earned during the marriage. Those are all things that you're going to want to know before we set foot in that mediation room. Mediation often is the best time to get your case resolved. But if you try to do it too soon, then it might be difficult for you emotionally. I've seen people that are just not ready to let their marriage go. And we end the mediation with a lot of crying and a lot of feelings of, it's too soon. So one thing that I urge people to do is to really be sure that you're ready to go forward with this. It's going to come inevitably if you're in the process of divorce. But before you set foot in the mediation room, I want you to really think about the fact, are you ready to end the marriage now? When you have a mediation, you're not going to get every single thing you want. Almost never will you get every single thing that you want. So what's important to do is to think about ahead of time what you're willing to compromise on and what you're absolutely not going to give on. And then when you go in the room, you're not so surprised when you have to give something up. But it's usually a matter of balancing. One person is going to give and then you're going to get something. It's a trade-off back and forth. When you're in mediation, you can really shape your parenting plan in a way that the court will not do. A court is much more likely just to give you the standard plan, but perhaps you want to have every Thanksgiving because your family comes in from out of town. Mediation is the place where you can say, hey, I want every Thanksgiving. And then, of course, they have to agree. But if there are specific things like, I don't want them ever having the children around their Uncle Harvey, then you can put that in. Any kind of little specific detail that's just for you in your case, that's where you can get it put into the papers. One thing that people are surprised about in mediation is how long it can take. So my advice to you would be bring something to read, have a notebook, you might want to have a journal. There have been mediations that have lasted 12 hours. I've even been in mediations that have gone for 2 days. So be prepared to be there a long time. So that might mean making arrangements to have your kids picked up, and it certainly is making arrangements to be sitting there for a long time. If you have any questions about mediation and how to prepare for your own mediation, then call us at Lee Daniel and Associates and we will walk you through it and we'll be right there beside you to help you with your mediation.